Today we're going to talk about video editors, and we're going to start with the big three. First up is DaVinci Resolve at $2.95. Marvel Studios uses it, other Hollywood studio professionals use it, and it has multi-user collaboration. Next up is Adobe Premiere. It's $2.75 a year and is subscription-based. It ends up costing a lot over time. Apparently they own your content. Final Cut Pro, $2.99. That's a one-time purchase, optimized for Apple hardware. Most studios don't use it. But we're not going to talk about any of those three. Today we're going to talk about two low-cost alternatives that won't break the bank. The first editor is iMovie, and it costs nothing. If you own a Mac or an iPad, it's probably already installed. If it isn't, all you have to do is go to the App Store and download it. iMovie is made for absolute beginners, but don't be fooled because it has some really nice features like support for green screen, masking, video templates, and picture-in-picture. When I first started editing video, iMovie was the natural go-to for me because it was pre-installed and, as I found out, very easy to use. It's also a fairly capable editor, and you can make a lot of good video before you start wanting more out of it. And really, if it wasn't for the somewhat limited supply of sound effects, music, and backgrounds, it would be my go-to editor because of some of the automation and machine learning built in. This is a cool feature that Luma Fusion doesn't have, and it's storyboards. The pre-made video templates guide you through the movie making process, and you can choose from 20 storyboards based on popular genres like cooking, product reviews, or science experiments. Each storyboard includes a shot list, with examples to guide you through capturing footage, organizing clips, and learning different story structures. Our last editor is Luma Fusion, made by LumaTouch. I started editing movies on an iPad in 2018 and was blown away by how much better and faster the iPad could render video compared to the Mac Mini with the Intel Duo-Core CPU I was using at the time. What used to take 40 minutes to render could now be done in 10 or 11 minutes on the iPad. I tried to use iMovie on the iPad, but I actually thought it was more difficult than the desktop version, and then I discovered Luma Fusion. It was a $20 one-time purchase at the time, and worked really well. Still does. And shortly after the release of Apple Silicon for the Mac, Luma Fusion could then be used on the M-Series Macs as well. After having developed a workflow with Luma Fusion on the iPad, it was natural to keep using it on the Mac desktop, for me. There's very little difference between the two. Luma Fusion is kind of a bread and butter editor. Everything is basic and simple to use. There isn't much automation with it, except for the multicam feature, which I'll get to in a bit. Instead, you're definitely going to learn the mechanics of manipulating video clips and making use of keyframing to get the desired results that you want. It comes bundled with the option to use story blocks right inside the editor. Now, story blocks gives you unlimited, royalty-free media downloads, and somehow Luma Fusion worked a deal that costs about $65 a year rather than $30 a month for a regular subscription. You do get access to more content made for more platforms, and the amount of it is staggering. It's on the order of hundreds of thousands of pieces of stock footage. Even with the Luma Fusion package for $65 a year, there are many hundreds of different pieces of media to choose from, possibly thousands, more than you can choose from in any case. An additional feature that Luma Fusion now has, and one they are rightfully proud of, is multicam video. Multicam allows you to have up to 6 additional cameras all synced up to one audio track. There's a little bit more to it than that, but that's the gist of it. In the editor, you can add additional video tracks and keep your one good audio track and switch seamlessly between clips. Multicam is a one-time $20 add-on, and the first time you use it to sync up a track, it's probably worth about $10 in saved effort. So those are the two low-cost or free editors I can recommend based on personal experience. If you have a suggestion for an editor that could be used with a Mac or iPad, leave a comment below. Until next time.